Hi everyone, Shane R. Monroe here. Today we're going to look at two other forgotten formats when it comes to music. I have here Fleetwood Mac's Behind the Mask and A-Teen's Teen Spirit. Now, these are of course in my slipcovers. Let's take a look at Fleetwood Mac first. Now, if you were to look at this disc closely, you will see, stupid reverse camera, you will see that there are no logos on the front that denote that there's anything special about this disc. If you look at the back side, you'll also see no special logos or anything else. Even if you open and look at the CD itself, there are no special logos. As far as anybody knows, this is just a music CD. Now, I haven't actually opened up the booklet to see if there's anything in there about that, but it looks like a music CD. A-Teens, however, are actually advertising this is something called an enhanced CD, right? If we look at the backside, there's an enhanced CD. There's something telling us that there's QuickTime involved, which is going to make showing this off a little more of a pain in the butt, but we'll figure it out. But at least this way, on this disc, well, okay, maybe the disc doesn't show you. Yeah, there's no indication of any logos or anything on the disc that would at all indicate that there's anything special about this disc, but at least the outside cover lets us know that there is something different about this. Now, just for fun, I busted out the Beast that I got from Goodwill a while back. If you have not seen that video, I recommend checking that out in the upper right. So if I throw in, now obviously I'm going to get copyright content struck if I play too much of these things, but if I drop it into a CD player, I will show you it does indeed work. So it plays just like a regular CD would play. All right. And again, there's absolutely nothing that would possibly denote that these discs aren't normal audio CDs. All right. So now that we know that they also are audio CDs, let's head over to the computer and let's see if we can figure out what makes these special. All right, because the format that Fleetwood Mac's disc is in is a little bit complicated, then we're going to have to use a special type of player. And because karaoke adopted this format called CD plus G, we needed to grab ourselves a karaoke player. Now, not every disk drive can actually read the special features and functionality of this disk, which is probably why it probably didn't do too well as a music CD format, but it did get quite a bit of love over in Japan, where they like these weird, quirky formats. So let's start off by loading a CD. Yes, we are in trial mode, so I'm not going to pay for this. Sure, you can look it up, but you're probably not going to find anything. Well, look at that, I found it after all. What do I know? All right, so now once it's loaded the disc, we should get a playlist. Here we go. And I'm not going to play any audio because Fleetwood Mac will get me dunked like nobody's business. But this is what would happen if you played the first song inside of a CD plus G player. Now, this would include, say, the Sega CD. I believe Philips CDI would play them. Obviously, the Amiga CD32 would play it. And this is kind of interesting, aside from the annoying unregistered copy logo bouncing around. This actually has a combination of low-resolution graphics along with the lyrics coming in as drawn in text in time with the music. I guess I could play a little bit of this. I'll just keep talking over it. So this is kind of interesting. Now remember, there's nothing special about this CD other than the fact that it taps a oft not used area of the disc to store these very low resolution graphics and text. Which, of course, if you look at this and think, oh my God, that would be perfect for karaoke, that's exactly what happened to this CD plus G format. It became a big karaoke sensation. Then, of course, people figured out you could rip them down and make them MP3 plus G instead of CD plus G or CD plus graphics. MP3 plus the graphic subset of graphics that were pulled out of here. So, yeah, It's really just a music CD that happens to make some use of another location on the disc that's typically not used. Very clever. Couple hundred of these things were made from popular artists. Chris Isaac's got one. Information Society has one. I own a bunch of these, but this is always my favorite because I love Fleetwood Mac. Okay, so that's what Fleetwood Mac's big secret is. It's actually a CD plus G disc, and there's absolutely nothing on the disc that would indicate that. There's also there's a Laura Branigan one that I also own that uses this same thing. All right, so now that we're done with Fleetwood Mac, let's take a look at what A-Teens really is. So if we pop A-Teens into the computer and take a peek. Okay, so I plug the disc in, nothing happened. So let's see if anything happened inside of bouncing. So it showed up as a disc, as a CD drive, not as an audio drive. If I go in there, the hell, there's stuff in here. Huh. Okay, so I think it might be worthwhile to look at the structure of this disc to get a better idea what might be going on in here. Now I have a little tool here that I use for these sort of oddball discs. It's called Power ISO. Of course, it is not free, and I don't even think, honestly, that it's cheap. We'll be in demo mode here. So let's open a CD. Okay, it's going to pick it up. Oh, well, what do we have here? Well, this is interesting. So this CD, right, has one session here, tracks of music. Audio, 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 audio. But then at the end, there's another session on the disc of mode 2, which is data, which is actually 41 megabytes. So what we're seeing in this L drive, if you will, is about 40 megabytes of stuff that was, I don't know, daisy chained onto the back of an audio disc session. So that's pretty clever, right? Because an audio CD is going to look here at session 1, track 1 and say, yeah, that's a music CD. Let's play it. But a PC, when you stick it in, is going to say, is there any data I can read off of here? Oh, look here. Here's a session that I can read. Pretty neat. Now, this is not unique. There are several situations and formats that use something similar. You may be familiar with games for maybe, say, the Amiga CD32 or others that have a data track first, followed by a series of music tracks. There's a lot of games that use CDDA for digital audio while using a data track as the first track. So this is sort of the same thing, but in reverse. So let's see if we actually inserted this and I had auto run running, what will we see? You'd see nothing. So let's see what setup does. I don't even know if this is even going to run on Windows 11, but let's give it a try anyway. This requires the Universal Media Player, a small program which will now be installed on your hard disk. Oh, great. All right, well, geez, old style installer. Yeah, this could be ugly, but let's do it anyway, right? In the interest of finality here. We already kind of know what the disk looks like, but we kind of want to see what's on it. So we'll let this thing sit and chew. I don't know what it's actually doing. This thing can't be very big. Now we'll let it sit there for a minute. In the meantime, let's see what we can see on this disk. Let's put this where we can see both. How about that? So obviously, if we want some sort of interactive experience, we're going to have to use this media player. So there are images, movies, pictures, images. I'm guessing this is a system level. So jacket. Who the hell knows what these are? Okay, let's go back here. Okay, well, this looks very, very old, and I'll be thrilled if it runs at all here. Okay, let's see what happens. Error creating registry key. Oh, well, hey, wait a minute. We got something here. Please tell me this gets bigger. Okay, I guess I will be zooming it up. All right, so what do we have here? Can't play the CD, so what do we have under here? So we have a music video, MPEG, and yeah, so it launched my it launched my media player, and it's playing the music video for Upside Down. So that's included, which is pretty cool. And it's in MPEG, so we didn't really even need this. We could have just gone and found it with a player. We have their website to connect to, a README, and some help. And what's over here that I can't quite click? Oh, it's a picture viewer. Okay. So you can flip through the pictures. Now, my guess is these are also on the disc and easy to get to. So we didn't really need the player, right? We could have probably gone in here. Here's all the images, and we could have just looked at them from here. But it's kind of interesting to see not only what the content was, but how we were expected to consume it back in those days, right? I don't know what's in the text here. Let's see what this is. This disc contains video, MPEG or Cinepack format. Ew. Yeah, this is where the QuickTime thing came from. MPEG player, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of cool. Most people would have never, ever seen, never, ever seen this video or this text. And what's this? Let me open up a viewer here. I'm just curious. Oh, so it's the same thing maybe for Mac? I don't know. Don't know. All right, so essentially we have a setup for this interface, a handful of pictures and a handful of movies, or just one? Just one. 33 megabytes. So, not exactly what we would call high quality video by any means, but certainly serviceable back at that time especially. All right, so we've looked at 18s, we've looked at Fleetwood Mac, two long lost formats. Well, CD plus G is still around in karaoke format, but something like the enhanced CD or a split CD or multi-session CD with data and music, well, that's kind of just not a thing anymore. Listen, I hope you're enjoying these forgotten format videos. If you are, leave a comment down below. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And of course, while you're down there, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys know what to do. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next time.